All right. What are y'all chowing down on over there?
My failed attempt at butter chicken.
Is it that bad?
It tastes good. It just doesn't look good.
Sometimes those are the best meals when they don't.
Yep.
All right. So I'm so glad to have you both joining us today. My name is Tenja Young. For our viewers, this is Folk and Palate Live. And tonight we are joined with Nicole Foster and Dwight Campbell of Cajou Creamery, an ice cream spot based out of Baltimore, Maryland. No milk, no dairy, cashew milk, almond milk. They make a phenomenal product, and they're creating a true name for themselves. So it is great to have you all here this evening.
It's great to be here. Much, Tenja.
Thanks so much, Nicole.
You love the concept of Folk and Palate.
Hey, how we doing, people?
Hey. So we are going to dive right into this. I have so much to cover with the two of you. This is my first time having a duo, husband and wife team. So I'm really excited to dive into it. And I know that from our initial conversations, Nicole, the first time we spoke, there was something that stuck out with me. And you mentioned, I believe it was maybe your mom gardening, but picking cherry tomatoes off the vine and how that flavor to you, just of plucking something off the vine and eating it straight out the garden, was just so phenomenal to you. And Dwight, you mentioned to me a memory that you called, if I'm quoting you correctly, like the memory of your manhood, and how you kind of walked into that and the day and that experience. So if the two of you could just kind of take me through that, because I think that those two memories were kind of the impetus to your food journey, whether you all may have realized it or not, because for you all to remember that, it plays a role in your life, just to maintain that as a memory. So Nicole, take it away. Tell me about that day and how that began to shape your life and your journey.
Sure. My parents are from Guyana, South America, and they moved to New Jersey, where I was born. My life has been a weird confluence of cultures. Chinese food at home, American food, and other West Indian, Jamaican, Trinidadian food at home with our family, with our friends, and then American food on the streets. And I don't exactly know when it started, but you're right. I absolutely have a vision of plucking those cherry tomatoes and tasting what will always be to me the taste of a tomato. And the tomatoes that we buy in the store, I remember about 20 years ago, I was like, this does not taste like a tomato. When I would go to the West Indies, though, and you would cut into a tomato, you could eat that like fruit because it tasted just like a tomato. And it began to click to me that, wait a minute, the food that we're eating. So I'll kick that off to Dwight.
Right.
So just to continue what she's saying, society in itself has created everything for convenience,
Right.
including the growth of our food.
Right.
It has to be fast, quick, and perfect every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Nature is not like that. We all know that.
Right.
We all know that. So our growing up it's almost like the last generation that grew up that. Because after that, the things that kids call normal now, we call normal then.
Right.
I remember, you might be away. We used to have a little silver metal box outside our door, and that was the milk.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come to deliver fresh milk. I think it was like once a week, twice a week.
Right.
It was amazing. I mean, I'm not that old, but they really did have that.
Right. And you're right. It's completely different now. And Dwight, tell me about that, because I like taking people on a journey. And when I spoke with you, you definitely took me on a journey, and I want folks to go on that same ride with both of your stories. Go back to that evening. You grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, right? Go back to
Correct.
that evening, your memory of walking into manhood.
Well, it started in the morning,
Mm.
you know, and I don't know what day it was. It was usually when things like this happen in the West Indies, usually on a Saturday or Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just like any other Saturday or Sunday, get up, do your chores, whatever you have to do, and then you realize that there's more people in your house than when you woke up that morning. And from there, it just builds. Next thing you know, somebody turn on the radio. Next thing you know, a fire gets started. Somebody roll in with a cooler full of fish or whatever it is. Or in this case, a goat. And it was the first time I ever saw them prepare a goat for roasting and for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said to you before, it's something that will always stay with me in two aspects. As a chef, it was, and as I know now, the feeling that I felt was excitement,
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of fear. And the fear is not knowing what's going to happen. It's not the fear of, oh, this goat's about to be dressed. It's because in our culture, that's normal.
Right, right.
You know,